Science and Technology. Chapter 10. Why does the future not need us? Human and society. Agrarian societies advanced less than 5,000 years ago, and it is only in last 200 years that a modern industrial society has come into being. Today, this industrial society is quickly converting into a global information society. Is this societal progress a change for the better? There always been controversy over this question, and presently the disagreement seems more intense than ever, possibly for the reason that we are more conscious today that society is making, because social change is taking place at an ever increasing rate. One of the issues in this current debate is the quality of life in modern society. Progress optimists have confidence in that we live better now than the earlier generations, while pessimists question that life is getting worse. Technology and humanity, a positive side. As the saying goes, necessity is the mother of invention. Necessities have a tendency to issue inventions, as each invention is invaded with the need of betterment and transmogrification. In a day, there are newer and newer advances are happening. Technological changes has a large responsibility for many of the secular trends in such first basic parameters of the human condition as the size of the world population. Second, life expectancy. Third, education levels. Fourth, material standards of living. The nature of work, communication, healthcare, war, and effects of human activities on the natural environment. Next is the human history, with a kind of directionality was provided by technological development. The positive view of technological development are: material standard of living. Its citizen lives more easily now than kings this century ago. Untimely death is greatly reduced. Fewer people die in accidents, epidemics, and murder. As social evils has been decreased, such as poverty, inequality, ignorance, and oppression. This view can be found in It's Getting Better All the Time by Moore and Simon 2000. Next is improvement in evolutionary view, seen as a human tool that is gradually perfect. This idea established during the period of enlightenment in the 18th century and lives today. We can progress society by social engineering is part of this belief and forms the ideological foundation of many major contemporary institutions, such as welfare state and development aid organizations. The Journal of Social Indicators research roots in this movement. Next is reduced suffering. A traditional religious view of earthly life as a phase of penance awaiting paradise in the afterlife breaks the knowledge that life is getting better. Reduce suffering by creating a better world and societal development. Advancements are also together with the reduction in time, effort, and cost of production of any material, from classy devices to mega structures, coupled with ease in design and development, reduce the material production cost, and the above changes that produce savings in the economy and lead to the national development. The negative view of technological development. Contemporary problems. One of the kind problem is deviant behavior such as criminality, drug abuse, and school refusal. Another group of problems seen to lessen and quality of life such as social conflicts, labor disputes, ethnic troubles, and political terrorism. The statement of this view is found in Easterbrook 2003, The Progress Paradox. Next is society drifting away from human nature. This view is often part of deterioration because society has changed a lot while human nature has not. Not a piece of equipment, but rather an uncomfortable force that presses humans into a way of life that does not really fit them in society view. In this view, paradise is lost and doubtful to be restored. Next is according to Bill Joyce, why the future doesn't need us. He said that genetic engineering will create new crops, plants, and eventually new species including many variations of human species. Joy has many fears about genetics, but especially how easy it would be messed up and create some new epidemic. And nanotechnology has its grey go. Problem self-replicating nanobots out of control. Jay looks to the Dalai Lama for an ethical basis for the future. Believes GNR may bring happiness and immortality, but would we risk the survival or the species for such a goal? Another European version is based on fraternity, love, compassion, and universal responsibility. Relevance of the issue. If modernization makes society less livable, we should try to stop the progress, or at least slow it down. Conservatives have a strong point in this case, and can convincingly argue for restorative policies. However, if modernization tends to improve the quality of life, we better go along with it. Societal collapse. There are several theories to explain the society collapse. Jared Diamond says that many past cases of society collapse have elaborate environmental factors such as deforestation and habitat destruction. Human-caused climate change built up toxic chemicals in the environment. Energy shortage and increased per capita impact of people also contribute. Different classes of scenarios involving societal collapse. A. Local societal collapse. Individual societies can collapse, but this is doubtful to have a determining effect of the future of humanity. If other advanced societies survive and take up where their forebears left off. All historical cases of collapse have been of this kind. Second, global societal collapse. Assume that a global societal collapse were to occur. What happened next? If the collapse is of a nature that a new advanced global civilization can never be rebuilt, and outcome would succeed as an existential disaster. If sustainable civilization arises, we reach the kind of situation that the following section will discuss. Different conclusion for different situations. There are many conceivable explanations why an advanced society might collapse, but only a subgroup of this explanation could probably account for an unleading pattern of collapse and generation. The postulate causes for collapse could not be so powerful as the causes of extinction of human species. Technology is the sum total of instrumentally transmissible information. Reason is the ability to analyze, create, reduce, and formulate. It is reason that allows human beings to strive and to invent. It is through inventions that mankind developed society. Relation of technology with humanity. A large of number of powerful energy sources like coal, petroleum, electricity, etc. have enabled humanity to conquer the barriers of nature as part of discovery and development. All this has facilitated the growth of past modes of transports, which in turn has transformed the world into a global village. The future of humanity. In the 20th century, building nuclear weapons required access to rare raw materials and highly protected information. Biological and chemical weapons programs required large-scale activities. Plateau mentions that two possible paths depict on the future of humanity. One is representing an increase followed by a permanent plateau. The other representing stasis at current status quo. Static view. The static view would also imply a radical break with numerous trends. By 2050, the world will be 7 times richer than it is today, according to a new report by United Nations International Institute for Economic and Statistics. Population of the world is predicted to increase over 9 billion in 2050, so usual wealth would also increase vividly. By 2100, the world economy could be 50 times larger than it is today. A single modest-sized country might then have as such wealth as the entire world has at the present. In the next few years, it will be increasingly feasible to keep track of where people go, whom they meet, what they do, and what goes inside their bodies. The capability of recording, surveillance, biometrics, and data mining technology will grow. Next, if we learn to control the biochemical processes of human senescence, healthy lifespan could be radically prolonged. A person with the age-specific mortality of a 20-year-old would have a life expectancy about 1,000 years, and ancient but useless quest for happiness could met with success if scientists could develop safe and effective methods of controlling the brain circuitry. Neuroscientists are exploring ways in which artificial intelligence could enhance human brains so that they can shape themselves into the kind of person they want to be. Cognitive enhancement might deepen our intellectual lives as well as our physical, emotional, and social development, say researcher at Oxford University. Wide-range consequences for manufacturing, medicine, and computing came from nanotechnology. Machine intelligence is additional potential revolutionary technology. Growth such as language, agriculture, and industrial revolution may be said to have knowingly changed the human condition. There are at least 1,000 times more of us now, and with present world average life expectancy at 67 years, we live possibly 3 times longer than our Pleistocene ancestors. Next is prediction of artificial intelligence. Werner Vinge says within 30 years we will have the technological means to create superhuman intelligence. Shortly thereafter, the human era will be ended. The first ultra-intelligent machine is the last invention that man need ever make, says Good 1965. Technology and its usability. Technology future will be determined by its usability relevance to the needs of the future and combined with the simplicity. Future technology will bring more opportunities to those who are willing to learn how to use it and exploit it to the maximum. The society has to use future technologies with, with good intentions. Technology can change our society, but the way we use it will measure if it is beneficial or not. These are the examples of the technology. Computer technology future. Next generation wearable computer is hollow. Watch technology upcoming. The forthcoming of home technology. The coming of classroom technology. How technology is transforming the human experience. Technology is really transforming the human experience, helping people to achieve things that would have only been dreamed of in fiction. The sci-fi genre has imagined all sorts of groundbreaking inventions, but reality holds as many captivating examples of advanced technology that is changing human everyday lives, which could impact them in the future. Some of the inventions could potentially stay there. These are the inventions: hearing colors or hearing at arm length, eye camera, smart contact lens, eyeball jewelry implant, human compass, password pill, electronic throat tattoo, interaction with devices, robot arm controlling wheelchair, bionic limb, artificial vision system, Terminator arm or Titan arm, USB finger or mind uploading. The new Pandora box, also as known as technology. The new Pandora box of new genetic, nanotechnology and robotics are almost open, yet we seem gradually to have noticed, as Darius said, we do not ride on the railroad, it rides upon us, and this is what we must fight in our time. According to Nick Bostrom, 2004, there are 4 future scenarios for the humanity and technology. These are the scenario. First, the extinction scenario. If humanity goes extinct, if it stay extinct, the cumulative probability of extinction increases monotonically over time. One argues that the current century for the next times will be critical phase for humanity. If we make it through this period, then the life expectancy of human civilization could become extremely high. The recurrent collapse scenario. The scenario assumes that technological civilization will hesitate continuously within a relatively narrow band of progress. If there is any chance that a cycle will either break through to the post-human level or plummet into extinction, then there is for each period a chance that the oscillation will end. The plateau scenarios are the recurrent collapse scenario in the level of civilization is theorized to remain confined within a narrow range. The longer the time frame considered, the smaller the probability that level of technological growth will remain. with a range. However, the plateau pattern might be thought to have a bit more staying power. The cumulative probability of the
Pause.
humanity, like extinction, increases monotonically will decline significantly after certain critical technologies have been developed. One might maintain that the annual likelihood that a poor human condition would revert to a human condition will simply decline. Next is post-human theory. Is a concept that would involve a radical change in human condition, whether the change was brought by biological enhancement or other causes. It is the result of an advanced level of technological or economic development that would require such as change in human society. The clarification of what has been referred to as post-human condition is overdue. It is used to mention to a condition which has at least one of the following features. 1. Population bigger than 1 trillion persons. 2. Larger than 500 years life expectancy. Third, large fraction of the population has cognitive cognitive capacities more than 2 standards deviation over the present human maximum. Fourth, near complete control over the sensory input for the majority of people for the most of time. 5. Human psychological suffer become rare occurrence. 6. Any change of magnitude or profundity comparable to that of one of the above. Next, the longer term. The four families of scenario we have considered such as extinction, recurrent collapse, plateau, and post-humanity. It could be controlled by varying the period over hypothesized occur. The human condition is among all the possible levels of organismic and technological development. A few hundred years or a few thousand years might already be plenty time for scenarios to play themselves out. Yet such an interval is a blip compared to lifetime to the universe. Next is the message to the humanity. It is up to the present generation to heed this warning and not allow such societal travesties of immense proportions ever to occur again. Technology has and will change the moral fabric of humanity. What is important is to ensure that these advances benefit humanity as a whole. And that's all. Thank you.